He's definitely a perfectionist, and he demands that of every one of his team. That is the special ingredient that separates him from many of the others around the world and puts him in that very top echelon of the players in the sport. I don't honestly think that's something you can give someone. It's there, and he's trying to push the boundaries, trying to get better and better every day.
In April last year, Justin Rose made a new addition to his coaching team. Jon Hearn came on board to take Justin's already very effective short game to the next level, but it's a relationship that first began with Rose's famous performance at Birkdale back in 1998.
Back in the Open when he was at Birkdale, I was standing behind the green and first-hand watched the shot and then followed his career, obviously, as he's progressed through the ranks. And then I've moved here to Albany and got to know him quite well on a personal level, and he asked me to help him with his short game, and so we've just naturally progressed from there. Everything is engineered towards a greater understanding of how to execute certain elements of the short game and how to create versatility within the framework of which I've given him. Very, very detailed orientated and asks the right questions and wants the minute details of why we're doing things and how that can affect the outcome.
Jon's impactful coaching has been inspired by a true great of the game, as we found out from Justin himself.
I was struggling with my short game a bit, and I know Jon had the great fortune of growing up and shadowing Seve and spending a lot of time with him personally, and he's really been diligent at collecting that information, collating it, and obviously that's gold dust when you have that chance to learn from the greatest like that. So he's been able to impart some of those messages onto me. I was sort of caught a little bit in between a couple of techniques. I was a lot of shuffling, really driving the leading edge in, and Jon's very much the opposite. Seve's approach was obviously the opposite, and Jon gave me some great tips, and I just felt that really for me, just encouraging me to spend a few more hours practicing my short game more than anything was going to be important, and Jon's info has proved invaluable to me for sure.
I think he was just looking for what could take him just that little bit higher. What is the differential between him and some of the other guys that show a little bit more versatility, I guess, under certain situations. And he was just looking for the answers. Maybe not that he didn't have a shot for that, but he just wanted, a bigger option for how to execute those shots. The statistics show that he's definitely improved since April, for sure. I mean, I think under certain situations, especially at Eastlake, there was a certain shot that he played, I think it was at the back of the 14th hole, or maybe 15th, where he utilised something we worked on, which gave him confidence to execute under the most amount of pressure. And so for him, it's, and for anyone, if you look down at a particular lie and you have a shot for that and you understand, how to execute that and have a type of short game that has a margin for error as well, so that you don't have to have the perfect execution of that given shot for a great outcome. I think that's given him the peace of mind to execute it under the most amount of pressure.
Justin isn't afraid of getting into detail when learning, and Jon's targeted approach has suited him well.
I've given him points of reference, so we're working very much on everything. So we're pre-setting the desired outcome before it happens. So if he wants a shot that's going to land extremely soft, then he knows that there's positions with the shaft, with the grip, with the sternum location, with his weight. So it's all factored in prior to him taking the club away. So it's literally guaranteeing the outcome he desires. And through that structure, he has the versatility to hit low ones, running shots, higher lob shots, which he has to face any given moment, any situation, wherever he is around the world. I think that's the biggest thing that we've worked on the most is giving him the ability to control the ball. So it's not coming off too low, too hot, having to rely on the grab. He now has that versatility that I'm talking about, where he knows that he can pitch the ball onto the green and release out like a putt when it's needed. And also know that with a 60 degree, when you're playing some of these exotic shots, it isn't always the easiest. I mean, so understanding the bounce a little bit more and how he can utilise the ground to be his friend, to take energy away from the shot when it's needed, to get the ball just to behave as he would do, in his own mind, and this is what I see, and I know I can create that. And so by going down to a 56, a 52, he carries a 47 degree wedge, that's more of engineering him to use the ground, to use less shaft lean, and ultimately to control the pace of the ball.
Justin began the year as world #1, but being right at the top of the game brings with it a new weight of expectation every time he tees it up. So, how far can he go?
Sky's the limit. I mean, really is. I mean, it'd be lovely to have a couple of majors for sure, and there's no reason why he can't do that. I mean, he's best player on the planet. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's just, but the reason he's the best is because he wants to improve all the time. And he does the right things. He's very methodical, and what he does has meaning, and there has to be a reason for change, obviously, and we change to get better. And it's very healthy for sure. So for him, I think sky's the limit.